A lot of us, we take in so much knowledge, but don't end up doing nothing with it.
Don't apply
We just,
it.
we just
They
like,
just know a bunch of
we
shit.
just know a bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We just know a lot of stuff. And this year, I want it all to be just about execution, right? So I'm gonna push everybody. I'm gonna push myself. I'm gonna push my woman, and I'm gonna say, just do it. Like, I know you want it to be perfect, but just do it, right? I know you want to wait till you feel safe and secure, and everything is a guarantee, but just do it, right? And I think that if we do that, we just learn to take action, and then one thing leads to the next. And, how you do anything is how you do everything. And I really want execution to be the foundation of just how I behave.
I'm Simeon Pando.
Victoria Monet.
Tank.
I'm Melvin Gregg.
This is another episode of Nice and Neat.
I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalon.
Welcome back. So I tend to be someone who just wants everything aligned before I take action, right? And I take action, but I know that just from personal experience and just looking at myself, I could do things faster, right? And I know speed is not always the best answer, but sometimes it is, right? Sometimes it shouldn't take 3 months to get something done or a year to get something done. Sometimes we could get done in 4 weeks if we're really pushing it. You know what I'm saying? And I think what happens when I become aware of, or when I focus on execution, it's more about allowing myself to be flawed. You know what I'm saying? And then also training my mind to not care about being judged, or training my mind to not care about what other people are going to think. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people, like, because I'm also a learner, right? And I love education, but a lot of us, we take in so much knowledge, but don't end up doing nothing with it.
Don't apply
we just,
it.
We just like,
They just know a bunch of shit.
we just know a bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We just know a lot of stuff, and you almost feel fulfilled by just learning.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, well, yeah, you learn, but you gotta attack the other part of that that you're not tapping into. And the part of it where, okay, you learning, but low key, you kind of scared to take action, right? You kind of scared to see what you really got. And I think this year, I want it all to be just about execution, right? So I'm gonna push everybody. I'm gonna push myself. I'm gonna push my woman, and I'm gonna say, just do it. Like, I know you want it to be perfect, but just do it, right? I know you want to wait till you feel safe and secure, and everything is a guarantee, but just do it, right? And I think that if we do that, we just learn to take action, and then one thing leads to the next. And how you do anything is how you do everything. And I really want execution to be the foundation of just how I behave with my relationship, with my friendships, with the business, with my family, with my health, everything. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to wait 3 months to drop X amount of body fat, right? I think if we just understand that, nothing is promised to us. You know what I mean? And it's very naive of us to think that, we're going to live till tomorrow, and we're going to live till next year. And if I just have this mentality that, hey, you may not be here because anything can happen, then I'll be more likely to execute. So that's my word of the year. And I need y'all to hold me to that, all right? So listen, next episode, anytime y'all see me talking on Instagram, anytime you guys see me talking on here, hey, I know you're not planning still. I know you're not prepping still. So hold me accountable.
That's good, dude. That's good. I guess I'll go ahead and get off my word before we just dive deeper into this episode. But when I think about something that I've been lacking past couple years, really, something that I really want to lean into more going into 2024 is serving, like serving others. So like my word is supportive. I want to be extremely supportive. First and foremost to my wife. Obviously, y'all know we about to have a kid, right? So like just being as supportive husband and father as I possibly could be in any shape and form and fashion. You know what I mean? From a monetary standpoint, if I'm able, you know what I mean? From just a physical standpoint, from just being there, emotional standpoint, all that. But even on a broader spectrum, I want to be more supportive with my friends. Like I want to be. If you need more help with Law 17, I want to be there to help you, bro. You need more help building Golden Hour, bro, I want to be there to help you. You know what I mean? Like our friends within our close circle, like that I feel like I have the ability to help and to serve. Like I want to do that because I just feel like I'm in a position to help other people, and I don't feel like I'm doing it enough.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I mean? I feel like I've, which is crazy because we all want things for ourselves, right? And you're driven and you're focused on things that only you care about. But I feel like sometimes I personally have gotten too caught up with myself and not enough, and I'm not focusing enough. And it sounds crazy because you got to run your own race and you have to live your life. But I feel like though I could still help others. It doesn't.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't cost me anything. Maybe it's a little extra time to give more support to my friends and my family who truly need it and want it. And again, I think I can make an impact in that way. So for me, my word is supportive. So yeah, I want y'all to hold me accountable to that too as well, because it's something I really got to get back to, serving my people, serving the community, and being supportive of all that I can.
Yeah.
Okay, that leads me to this. So, Omar, you said supportive, and we're going to come back to that.
Yeah.
Duke, you said execution, right? Who's somebody that you look at that you like, man, this guy executes? And this is somebody who I can kind of follow their lead in the way they execute. I kind of admire the things that they do, and that also can be something that I'm not necessarily saying you're looking for motivation, but it can be somebody who you're like, you know what? When I may not know how to execute, I can see what this guy did, and he actually has action steps. I know that's something that you're big on.
Yeah. Man, that's a good question. I have to think about that, right? It's not coming off my head right now, but that's a good question, and I agree. I think having some example of what it even looks like to execute, right? So when you get stuck, you can ask them or ask yourself, like, what would this person do? Or let me try to follow this person's steps. But that's a good question. So I have to think about that. So just give me a couple minutes and circle back, and I'll try to answer that.
Okay. So, very, very similar question. I'm going to ask it a little bit differently. In the space of support, who has supported you in a way that you admire to where you're like, yo, I want to be like that?
I mean, besides my wife, my wife is
extremely... Nah, that's a great example.
Yeah, my wife is extremely supportive, bro. I mean, just thinking about everything that I have gone through with her in my life, you know what I mean? Through identity crisis, not making no money, making foolish decisions, and really just trying to find myself, you know what I mean? Extremely supportive throughout the entire process, extremely kind to me throughout that entire process.
That's important.
Man.
Yeah.
So I would say my wife. And a secondary person would be, which is crazy because I don't look up to this person in no other way. And I'm not like making a joke or nothing about it, but it's just like, but my manager, Mahar, like he is so selfless.
That's dope.
He's so selfless, bro. He's always helping. He's always extending his hand, bro. And it's like, it's so admirable.
Wow.
It's so admirable, bro. And so I would say them too, for sure.
My heart is definitely service.
Bro.
Service driven for sure.
Almost, if you don't even know it, it'll almost come off like, hey, yo, like
you doing too much.
Because
we're not used to it.
We're not used to it.
So
So we think that like we just don't know how to respond to it. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, hey, what you want?
Yep.
You want something from me?
That.
But it's just always genuine, you know. And he's always just like, and the great thing about my heart too is like, once he served you, and then he meet me, and then we boys,
He served
now
me
he's
too.
serving me.
Yep.
Now he try to serve me.
Yep.
And then he meet Jalon, and now he trying to serve. So like, it's like, yo, if you know how they say, yo, if you his brother, you my brother.
Yep.
He believe that.
He believe that.
He lives by that.
And
he stands on that,
believe
actually.
People like that, bro.
Stand on business.
They stand on
Stand
business,
on
bro.
business.
And whether they become blessed in this life or not, they're for sure will be blessed in the next.
That part.
Bro, like, those are special people, bro.
Hey.
God will take care of them people. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you this too. People like that, right? Because when you help so many people, one of those people are bound to be in a position at some point to lift you up.
Come on.
And when you on down times, they're gonna remember, hey yo, you helped me.
Yep.
So like, come on, because we all gonna get there. We all gonna be there,
1000%.
right? So and I think it may not come immediately, but it's gonna come eventually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so I asked you guys that question because as we get, past March and we into June and we in July, and this passion that's burning in us for the words that we want to achieve at the beginning of the year begin to subside and they begin to fade out. I begin to think, like, when you have that point of reference, what are you referencing? Because we're trying to do something that we haven't done before. I haven't been the person that I'm saying I want to be yet. None of us have been the person that we saying that we want to be yet. So, like, Duke, when I ask you about execution, part of the reason why I ask you about somebody that you look to that does it, because it's like, all right, I'm all executed out for me.
Right.
But
Right.
what would James be doing right now? You know, I'm all supported out for me. Matter of fact, but what would Mara do right now?
For sure.
And I feel like that's a good reference to have when you have that kind of like that North Star that you look to for that word that we created. So
who's your North Star?
you guys want me to be
When you talk
completely
about
honest?
punctuality,
You guys want me to be completely honest? You guys, bro. Like, and I say that in the sense of, and you guys are gonna laugh. You think I'm being funny. Omar, bro, when you pack your luggage for anywhere that you're going, dog, you will have your phone charger, you will have the wire, you will have the box separate, you're gonna have your computer charger.
Wait.
You're gonna have
Wait. Hey.
seriously.
Tell me why that's so crazy. The box and the wire and the block.
It's gonna be separate because just in case, you know, if you come to a point where it's just you don't need the box, you don't have to go through. Bro, think about how small somebody might be like, I'll just grab the whole charger. But like the 0.5 seconds, or if you reach it in the back and you just want to grab just one thing, you don't have to separate it. We're talking about efficiency. You don't have to waste no time to grab what you're trying to grab. Right? So you got the wire, then you got the box separate, and then you have your computer, then you have your computer charger, box separate, then you got your camera charger, then you have your portable charger. You have all of these things, and we didn't even talk about clothes yet. We didn't even talk about what you want to make sure that you got to make sure that you and your wife's trip is complete. Because you always make sure, like, I'm sure if Candace ever forgot toothpaste, she can ask you for it.
1,000%.
There's never going to be something that somebody needs from you that you don't have.
Dog.
And am I lying, dude?
No, you're not. You're not, dog.
So like your level of organization comes from preparation.
Yeah.
Like I've realized, like I used to think organization was something that was separate outside of preparing. But like they actually kind of go hand in hand. Right? I'm very organized, but I might not be prepared in my organization. So it's like, I got everything that I don't need. Right? Because I didn't prepare for, oh man, it might rain. Like, have a jacket. Like, and it'd be like, why you have that? Like, because I always fly on one just in case. I don't put it in my luggage. And it's like, that makes sense. Am I lying?
No, you're pretty accurate.
So this is what I'm saying. So like, when I have these moments of like, okay, cool. If I'm trying to be as prepared as possible, right? I feel like there's like a checklist. Okay, outside of me, who's moving? Okay, me, Brittany Edison. All right, for sure. What do I need? Okay, I got this. Matter of fact, me, Brittany Edison. What does Edison need? Okay, he needs this, he needs this, he needs this. Okay, cool. What do I need to make sure I take care of so Brittany could get everything that she needs? Okay, cool. She needs this, she needs this, she needs this. The easiest thing is what I need. I know what I need.
Right.
Right? So as far as like preparing your family to like just maneuver, you know, I think about those things. I don't want to be thinking about this when he's 5 and, you know, we forget his football uniform because we're not prepared. Like, nah, we need to be a well-oiled machine, and that starts with me. So,
It's
like,
crazy. Like preparation, just like anything else, bro, it takes repetition.
yeah.
So I'm glad you said that, bro, because like when he's 5, you can't just
No.
just think you're gonna start doing it.
Nah.
Like, cause even now, like you guys, you're gonna make mistakes doing it, right? But that's part
I'll be
of,
making mistakes.
But that's part of
Yeah.
building the consistency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The people trying to develop new habits, they always fall off. But the idea is getting right back on the horse once you fall off. You know, until you build up the habit so much that you don't fall.
Yeah.
You don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's part of it.
It'd be like
you get wobbly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you don't fall. You don't fall, bro. That's good.
I got my own testimony about O's organization though.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's crazy. I think when I first
That's crazy.
when I first met O, well, not when I first met him, but when we were playing in Denver. This is 2012. It's our first year playing in Denver with the Broncos, and up until this point, I've been a pretty organized guy, right? But the way I define organized is, I know exactly where everything is. I can get to everything quickly, right? I know exactly if someone says, "Where is this?" I can point them in the right direction, and I could direct them to where to go, right? Without even seeing it, okay? So I thought I was organized. But then, I'm on practice squad my first year, so I'm spending a lot of time at his house because he got drafted. So he got his apartment decked out, right? I don't have an apartment yet. So I spent a lot of time in his house. So I'm like, hey, yo, where's this at? Right? Hey, shout out to the Emily.
Shout out to that family.
Shout out to Emily. So I'm in his house and he's like, yo, this is there, this is there, this is there. I'm opening drawers and stuff. And everything, I'm talking about everything, was like a serial killer's house. Like it was like a, like I got the knives here, I got the cigars here, I got the clothes folded up, like no clothes was like hanging out the dressers, like nothing. Everything was like exactly where it's supposed to be. And I'm like, yo, like this dude is 22, like we 22 years old, all right? And I'm like, yo, I gotta step my game up, because it was the first time in my life. It was the first time in my life that I was actually in someone's house that I was like, that I knew that was that organized. And I'm talking about from the living room to the guest bedroom closet to the bathroom to the kitchen. Like it was crazy. So when you tell me he's organized, I'm like, yo, it's been like this for 10, 12 years.
Bro, and it's wild because he gets better. He gets better.
Right.
Repetition, bro.
Because it's like,
Repetition.
like even traveling internationally, and it's like, it could be like, oh man, I forgot my tripod. Oh, be like, oh, I bought an extra one.
Right.
Like you bought 2 tripods.
Right.
I bought a small one.
So
Do you see what I'm saying? So it'd be like, oh wow, like okay, not only does he have the one that he needs, he has the extra one, and it's like, wow, okay, for sure.
yeah, and part of that organization, like you said, man, it takes preparation. But where I found myself going back to execution is I would become so enamored with like making sure everything is organized that it'll take so much time away from executing.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And once I get organized, the job's done.
That's what I think that's what you were talking about earlier about
Yeah.
not trying to be perfect.
Yeah. So I guess for me, the great thing about organization is once you do it once, the first time you do it will be the hardest time you ever had to do it. And now it's just upkeep. Right? But I was just, in my experience, it's just like even that right there takes away from the execution. So now I just want to focus on execution. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, I think that's great. What else differently do you, I guess this is what I want to ask. So now that you're about to be a father, right? How do you sit down with Candace or when do you sit down with Candace and you guys really, or do you even sit down with her and you guys actually write down things that you guys want to accomplish together and roadmap how you guys are going to get there?
Yeah, that's a good question. Candace, in terms of like Komar goals, the Bolden goals, Candace is the writer for us. She's the writer and the planner.
Okay.
Right? But I mean, we don't plan meetings. Like I saw something floating around on social about this couple planning meetings. And I thought that was really dope.
Yeah.
We don't plan them, but we have real sit downs.
Yeah.
We sit down, we talking about financials, what's coming up in the expected month, how we did last month, so we can weather the storm and anticipate the months coming forward. No, I think that shit is important. I mean, we had that conversation today. You know what I mean? Regarding some things that we got coming up. So, I think that's important for all couples, bro. It's especially like the further along you go into your relationship, I think it's easy to get comfortable and just start assuming.
Yep.
So like those check-ins are important just to make sure that we're still on the same page. Nothing hasn't changed or nothing's come up that has knocked you off the rails or something that's not keeping you distracted right now, so you can stay focused. Or back to my word, supportive. How can I help you?
Yeah.
In this moment, you know what I mean? 'Cause are you struggling right now?
Yeah.
Because sometimes one of us may be struggling.
Yeah.
In many different ways.
Yep.
How can I help and pick you up in this
Right.
moment? So yeah, we do that often, bro. But I can't tell you, we don't plan them. We don't plan them. But I would say it happens once a month, at least once a month. You know what I mean? Just because we want to be on the same page. We're in such a beautiful space right now, and I think it's attributed to the communication.
Yeah.
Sitting down, talking.
Yeah.
Whether we plan it or not, it's happening.
Even if nothing comes from it, I think it is a good habit to build. Because like maybe nothing has changed.
This is true.
Maybe nothing has changed, or maybe everything's good. But as you get further in your relationship, it's just a good habit to, this is how we operate.
Hey, but bro, you've been in NFL locker rooms,
Yep.
NFL meeting rooms. Whether you blow a team out by 60 or whether you lost by 60,
You still got to
your ass gonna be in that meeting room, and we're gonna review this tape.
Yep.
Because two things I know for sure: it's never as bad as it is, it's never as bad as it seems, and it's never as good as you thought it was.
Yep.
For sure, you're gonna put on the tape. You're gonna be like,
Yeah, we blew him out. But,
We blew him out. But, he got me on that one.
Yeah, because like every
quarterback threw the ball, I'd have been out.
because
You know what I mean?
because even blowouts, low key, even blowouts are like 1 or 2 plays away from being a different game.
Absolutely.
You know?
So it's important to review the tape at all times, or review the tape. You know what I mean? Go back and go over the data, as we like to refer to on the show often. You know what I mean? I think that's important. What about you guys though? Like, how often are y'all having those sit downs with your women?
No, honestly, bro, we used to. It's been a while now, man. But because I honestly fell, and this is my fault, but I fell into the trap of redundancy. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, hey, yo, we just in this cycle of just working and just in the cycle of just trying to get to the next thing, right? And just trying to get to the next thing. And the big events, we're always going to talk about that, but we get engaged, but then we get back into the cycle of redundancy, right? And early on in the relationship, well, I don't want to say too early on, but we had, so one form of that check-in is our communication book. Right,
the notes.
The notes.
Y'all talk about that.
The notebook, right? So that's one form of communication book that we try to upkeep, and we put parameters in place so we both honor those.
Stick to that,
right?
Yep.
It's like, hey, yo, don't go a week without communicating in this book, right? That's fell off. Or early on, we say, yo, like, I believe we should have monthly check-ins, and this is like, nobody taught me this stuff. This is just what was in my heart. I was like, I want to know this woman. I want this woman to know me. I feel like we should have monthly check-ins, right? Bring your notes, write down whatever problems. But a lot of times the monthly check-ins were centered around, hey, yo, if there's some things you need to talk about and get off your chest, this is the time to do it, right? And it preps us for, like, it I guess disarms us from having to feel triggered or offended by something my partner saying, right? In both ways. And I thought that was super beneficial, right? And I felt like that created an atmosphere of us being able to really communicate about anything, you know?
You said y'all kind of fell off of that.
Yeah.
Other than, I know you taking ownership of it, and I think that's admirable.
Yeah.
But like, why do you think there's been a drop off in that?
I feel like valuing work over
The
the relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you guys know how it is when you guys like, cause for me, it's like, yo, the success of our relationship, you know, I'm not talking about the success, but our ability to thrive and live the life that we want, like, I feel like falls on my shoulders. That can be in a healthy way of thinking, but that's how I think, right? So what comes with that is, yo, I got to make sure that I'm always in work mode, just in case my woman's like, yo, I'm tired.
Yep.
Right. Or just like, yo, I don't want to do this no more, or I just want to break, or I get pregnant. I just always got to be in work mode. Right. So it's like my way to combat laziness and complacency.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that sometimes it's good. Right. And sometimes I think my woman admires that, but then sometimes it's bad because, you know, it can almost make me feel disconnected, you know? So those are the things, like, I'm familiar with the principle of, yo, we're going to sit down every month or every quarter and we're going to map out our goals. And, you know, we even sat down and I opened up a Google Doc and I almost made like a brand guideline for our relationship.
You almost feel like
No,
like,
for real.
yeah,
We've done that.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, okay, look, hey, what are your personal goals? What are my personal goals? What are the goals that we have together? What are these things we want to do? You know what I mean? And what are the things you like? What are the things you're passionate about? What's your self-care routine? Like, it's mapped out, right? But it's kind of like, hey, you map it out and then what? You map it out and then what? Because then goals are just goals.
There's no plan. There's no plan to
There's
the
no
goal.
action steps.
Yeah.
Right? Goals, you can just put the
This is
put
what
the
I
shit on
want to
paper.
get.
This is what I want to
Yeah,
get, right?
Yeah.
But the goals are not important.
Yeah.
It's the task.
The steps in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a task. What are we doing? Like, because then the year will go by and we'll ask ourselves, did we reach the goal?
Yeah.
And we was like, no. But then if you ask yourself, yo, did you do the things? Right?
Got you closer to the goal.
That's more important. So
Yeah.
if I want to lose 20 pounds or I want to lose 10 pounds, that's the goal. That's the overarching goal. But now I need to put in a task that says, okay, well, I want to lose 20 pounds or 10 pounds. So here's what I'm going to do every day. I'm going to drink 1 gallon of water every day. I'm going to do cardio every single day.
I'm gonna stop eating after 8.
I'm gonna stop eating
Yeah.
after 8. Okay, and those 3 things. All right. So now every day I gotta kind of check and say, hey, yo, did I drink all my water yesterday? Yep. Okay. Did I do cardio yesterday? Yep. Okay. Did I go to sleep? Okay. Yep.
Practical checklist.
So those are the things. Those are the goals that you want to check. And then in the 8 weeks that comes, if you didn't hit your goal, at least you know you did all the tasks. And I guarantee that you're going to be closer to your goal than you wasn't.
You said something that I feel like I can really resonate with is I prioritize work a lot of times over the relationship throughout the course of the day, right?
For sure. Yeah.
I have my like, okay, cool. This is relationship time, right? Like, okay, cool. I'm gonna focus on relationship in this space, right? This is I'm gonna say a statement, but I also want you to help me navigate that space through how you navigate it. I feel like we're all learning, right? There is a understanding that if the Webster household falls, nobody's gonna be like, man, Brittany really let them fall down. Like, that's crazy. If the Iheanacho household fails, nobody's ever gonna be like, man, Chanel really let them down. If the Bolden family fails, nobody's ever gonna be like, man, Candace blew it over there. Nobody's gonna say that. It always falls on us, right? So that's something that's always in my mind to where it's like, hey, yo, I gotta make sure I make this. This is what I gotta hit my quota, right? I gotta hit my quota, then I can play with everything else. That's kind of like how I maneuver through life, right? So if my quota is, let's say I'm like, yo, I need to make $700 a day. Once I make $700 in a day, then I could play, right? So that's kind of how I do it, right? I feel like if you're like, yo, even every Friday we're gonna have a date night. Let's say you say every Friday we're gonna have a date night, or we're gonna make sure we have intentional time, or even in those spaces where it's late at night and you guys get into those conversations, y'all just get rolling and it's, 2-3 hours where y'all just rapping, right? What about those times where it may be the middle of the day and she kind of like needs you, and you're in work mode, and you are chasing your quota, and you're doing what you're supposed to do? How do you come out of, I'll just call it your masculine, and then step into the aspects of the relationship that she needs in those moments? How do you balance that? How do you maneuver in and out? Because I feel like I can do a good job of creating the poker face of like, oh yeah, nah, I'm listening to you, I'm hearing you, but like I'm still focused on what I need to take care of.
Yeah.
I'm not locking in, to what's going on over there. How do you guys balance that?
It's tough navigating, finding that balance. I think one thing that you could do to kind of help yourself in these moments is just to remember that you're not only a provider, you're a lover too. You know what I mean? So when our partners need, going back to my word, support, when they need support in the moment, if giving them 5 minutes is not going to affect your day, give it to them. You know what I mean? Because I feel like at the end of the day, the love between you guys has to stay hot. The flame between you guys got to stay burning. And you got to constantly show up for her, and she's got to constantly show up for you. However, there are moments where our women have to understand that, like, now is not the time. Because I got my plate full, I'm really focused, or you just know a better time would be more suitable for this moment that you're requesting. But I feel like keeping that at the forefront of your mind, that not only are you a provider, but you're also a lover, will kind of help you, like, stay, at least that's kind of helped me. All right, babe, I'll give you my ear. Yeah. But also though, bro, it's crazy because I have a crazy skill, right? I could be talking to you right now. I could hear a dude talk, and I will repeat verbatim the whole sentence that he just said. It's a crazy skill that I have, right? So like sometimes I may not be listening, but I'll hear you.
Yeah, got you.
I'm not listening, but I heard you, and I have a bad habit of that, right? But what's helped me kick that habit is reminding myself, yo, you are a lover to this woman, bro. So give this woman 5 minutes, and usually you give her 5 minutes, you can have your space back and get back to your work. But it's just like you're in that mode. It's like, yo, once I leave the house, I'm clocked in.
Yes.
I'm clocked in.
Yeah.
Once you put them boots on and we walk out the door, it's blinders. It's blinders. I gotta go stack these chips. I'm trying to bring as much home as I can so my woman is happy, so we're happy and we're comfortable. And it's very hard to remove the blinders once the boots are on. I honestly, that is such a job, bro.
Bro,
To be able to separate that,
yeah,
bro, it's
I'm
tough.
a blinder guy.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I'm a blinder guy.
Yeah.
I'm like a horse, bro.
Horse guy.
I'm a prize horse.
Yeah.
When I'm doing what I'm supposed
Seabiscuit.
to be doing, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Don't bend the wires. Hey, I'm a blinder guy, bro. When I am doing what I am supposed to be doing for my family, it could come off real selfish because I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing for my family as a task, and I don't like peel back the blinders to see like, does anybody else need me in this moment of me working? Like, nah, I'm just like, I'm gonna get to the finish line and it's like, okay, cool, you need me? But it's, and I think the thing for me is like understanding that a schedule can exist, and I'm big on this, right? A schedule can exist, but a schedule isn't the end all be all. So it could be like, hey, I told you I was going to be busy for these hours. But like, just because I said it doesn't mean that it always has to be honored.
Got you.
And I feel like that is the part for me that's like just ripping the provider space for me away from the way that I navigate. And I know in moving into this new year, like for example, I have to get better with that because again, we're talking about when my son is 5 years old. If he has to get picked up from school in the middle of the day and I got to sit down and I got to talk to him and I got to be there for him, like that's the same muscle. You know, like that's the same thing, right? So like being like operating in that space of like, hey, yo, I'm a provider and I'm taking care of what I'm supposed to take care of, and like obvious and this is the weird thing. This is what makes it tricky. When I'm providing the way I'm supposed to, the household is actually happier.
Yep.
Right? So when I get pulled away, I'm gonna be like, okay, which one of these are gonna struggle? And which one I'm picking my battle. Like which one I'm gonna be okay with, like missing out. And sometimes it's that 5 minutes. Sometimes I'm just like, hey yo, I can't give you this right now. And is it hard for me? Yes, because I'm now maneuvering through my day or through that moment with pure anxiety.
Because the 5 minutes is sometimes the 5 minutes ain't just the 5 minutes.
It's an hour. It takes a minute to lock in.
The 5 minutes is just the time, right? But there's a afterburn there. You know what I'm saying? Like the 5 minutes is over, but the effect of losing the 5 minutes and restarting again, that could take more than 5 minutes.
The restart is crazy.
And sometimes you'll lock in, and me personally, sometimes I'll lock in and I'll get the 5 minutes, and I'll say, you know what? I actually want to spend more time with you right now.
Yeah. You don't go back.
Right? I actually don't feel like going back to work, or I don't feel like I actually want to I want to be here right now, right? Which sometimes is not the best thing for the family. You know what I mean? And I think for me, to answer your question, man, when that happens, bro, I let it happen, right? Because I think that the thing can coexist, the work and the relationship. I don't think you have to separate the two. So I let it happen. All right. And if my woman comes to me and she wants to talk about anything, like I'm always there. I'm never gonna be like, yo, I don't have time for this. Always, 100%, right? But what's gonna happen though is I'm gonna go get that 5 minutes somewhere else. Right? So when I'm supposed to be in bed,
right.
That's
true.
I'm gonna go grab it, right? And I think that now intimacy suffers.
Yep.
Right? So now like it's kind of like, hey yo, even if you thought you was recouping the 5 minutes, something else is still suffering. Right? And that could like have a lingering effect.
So in that situation, where does the sacrifice lie?
I definitely think it's situational. The sacrifice is situational. I think there's a lot of grace. Like we talk about grace in relationships, we talk about patience, we talk about trust, and I think it's extremely important for your partner to trust that the decisions that I'm making all the time are for the household.
Yeah.
That part.
The decision I'm making is for the household. So if I'm doing this thing that may be inconveniencing you in the moment, I'm doing this for us. And I've recognized this, that men and their commitments, and I've seen it in my dad. Like, my dad didn't show up to my baby shower because he had a commitment before, right?
Wow.
But a woman would be able to kind of like knock him off of that commitment. When we're committed to how we do something, we're committed to how we do it. Granted, I think that the balance is so important to have your woman there to be like, hey, we're going to actually go to this. Like, you put your work aside, Duke. We're going to actually go to this. You know, like, that's important. We need that, right? I think that balance is important. But also understanding, like, I feel like the reason why transparency is so important in your relationship is because a lot of times we'll be in work mode and our partner don't know why we're in work mode. They might just think we're trying to get more rather than understanding that we're trying to break even.
Oh my God.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
So it's like, why are you working so hard? I'm behind. I'm not just trying to get ahead. I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to catch up.
They're like this extra.
Yeah. I am running the 200 from lane 8.
Oh boy.
I got to hit this turn hard or else that straightaway is, I'm going to be behind. They're going to eat me up.
That's real. That's real.
You know, and I think there's the transparency that we have to offer in those spaces and the level of vulnerability that we have to offer in those spaces. The onus is on us. Leadership is always on us. And that shit is inconvenient.
Leadership is inconvenient.
It's inconvenient, bro. Wow. It's times where I'll just be like, hey, I just kind of want to put my head down and just like kind of like power through it. And like, I want to power through it. I want to do it. But like, my energy and the way I feel is affecting her. And if it affects her, it affects the whole house. And now I'm mad at her because she has an attitude. But she has an attitude because I created the energy. And like, those were things I had to take a step back and was like, I wasn't transparent about where I was at in that space. Like, I didn't let her know, like, hey, yo, it's gonna be a tight month. It's gonna be a tight month. It's gonna be like that, you know.
That's our fault.
It's our fault.
That's our fault.
That's our fault.
That's our fault right there.
Right, because it's not really. We can't expect them to.
They're not mind readers, bro.
We can't expect them to read our minds, and we can't expect them to be concerned with something that they don't feel. It's not okay. They don't really have authority, right, or dominion over that, right? So it's not something that comes to their mind. So their job is like, yo, as long as my man happy, right? As long as he loves me, and you know, it's all good. But it's not really, and it's not saying they don't care.
Yeah.
It's just saying it's not on top of it. Like, they're not conditioned to be like, okay, well, maybe he's working hard because he's trying to catch up. It's just he's working hard.
Yeah,
He's working hard.
He's just working
Every
hard.
time I see him, he's working.
And it's annoying.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
He's in overdrive.
Yo,
Why is he doing this?
And, you know, like, why isn't he more like me? Right? Why is he more like me? Because, like, I need time to get away. I need time to break free. I couldn't do that. Right? So why are you not like me? And I think that's the part where there can be a disconnect because we were wired differently. And if you're a certain type of woman or a certain type of man, you assume different roles in relationships, right? And you say, yo, I'm going to play my part, or I'm going to try to play my part, or in a perfect world, this is the part I will play 100% of the time, and you're going to play your part.
Yeah.
Right? And when you one of those guys and one of those women, you're going to run into these issues. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's coming from a place of, like, the craziest thing is, all of it comes down to like you thought you worked hard before you met Candace, right? And you thought you worked hard before you met Brittany and had Edison, and I thought I worked hard, but like, if it was just me, I wouldn't work this hard. Right? If it was just me, I wouldn't work this hard, right? Not only just to do my part to create a lifestyle, but like, I don't need that. I don't need that much. You know what I'm saying?
For the sake of the conversation, I believe you, but I don't believe you.
No.
You will be going crazy.
No. I would have when I'm saying
you
this.
will be working hard, dude.
What I'm saying is this, bro. However hard you think I'm working, right? When you add Chanel to the equation and the possibility of kids in the future, like it's amplified.
I get it.
So you will never be able to catch that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's no world I could ever see myself, and I can compare me without my woman and me with my woman and say, yo, this dude's working harder than never. And because you got different responsibility.
And I don't think you're just speaking to the activity.
Yeah.
It's not just the activity. I actually think I will be more active.
Yes, that's
what
what
I
I'm
was
saying.
alone. I'll be more active, but like the space of, okay, this is the space of the consumption of what I need to do for my family at all times.
Yeah,
it's just totally different. I don't. Bro, honestly, if I didn't have to sleep at this point in time, I wouldn't. Like, because it's like that's taking away from what I need to do.
Yeah.
It's
that's perfect,
bro,
that you said that activity.
That it's not necessarily activity, bro. I used to take a nap every day.
Yeah,
I needed it.
I know you still need it now, but you can't haven't been able to find the windows.
There's there is no windows to just be sleeping. Like to just be sleeping, like because like I remember I used to get anxiety, and when I got anxious, I'd be like, I need to go take a nap. That's how I need to recoup.
Yeah.
I need to go take a nap. Now it's like, hey, I'm anxious. I can't waste the time taking a nap. I got to work through this. I got to work through it, bro.
Yeah.
And then I'll be able to figure it out through there.
Yeah.
But I can't. There's nothing that I can allow to keep me debilitated throughout the course of the day anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not, because it's not my time.
Yeah.
My time is their time. And like anywhere where I fall short for them, I now have to be like, replace that. Whatever you were used to doing, like you got to replace that. And like that is, I feel like, so you know when you get into a relationship, it's like, okay, this is how I do things, this is how you do things, now this is how we do things, right? With a family, it's like, okay, this is how we did things, and this is how I need to jump in and out for us in every single space to make sure we get things done. There's no more, it's not as cut and dry anymore. You're gonna be doing so many things, like as you see now. I see Omar had this TikTok that went viral of him cooking for his wife and making her meals, whether it was lunch, dinner, breakfast, and I'm not trying to be funny. That is the reality now. Like that's not an Instagram post. Like if that's what you need to do, because hey man, you know she's been with the baby all day. Like that's what you got to do.
Yep.
That's what you gotta do.
That's what you gotta do.
Yep.
You know, and it's just like being able to see these things now and see like, okay, cool, I fell short here. All right, I need to be better in this space. Like I feel like that is, as we are talking about like what we want to bring into 2024, I think the only thing that you could really, really focus on in the words that we chose is not perfection, but progression. Like really just focus on progressing to be better. Somebody's going to get mad at you for you not being where you want to be, and it's up to you to not beat yourself up for not being that person.
Wow.
Last thing before we ride up out of here, let's go back to the question you asked about how do you allow it to happen when you need to give that time to your woman, right? I think one thing I never want to do is rely on the fact that, yo, I'm working hard, right? Because that 5 minutes that I say that I can't give to my woman in that moment, I'm going to give to an Instagram scroll.
Bro.
Right? We all can find time throughout the day and add up all the time that we've been scrolling.
Yep.
Right? So it's not, I don't think it's a legitimate excuse to say, yo, I don't have the time or I don't have the energy. Because I know there's guys are watching right now and listening, and they're going to say, well, man, thank you. Thank you for saying that, right?
Yep.
But we're not saying that, yo, you have a reason to neglect your relationship. That's not what we're saying, because honestly, we could all find time to do it. But we're just saying that, yo, here's how we dance in and out of working hard, you know, and being present in our relationship and the complexities of it. That's all we're saying. You know what I'm saying?
Hot take, fellas. Okay. Okay. Because we talked about one word that we're taking with us into 2024.
Okay.
I need one thing from you that you leaving in 2023.
That's a good question. All
One
right.
thing that you are leaving.
Leaving. What?
Leaving.
What I don't want.
Like
It
like
can't
you
come
talking about
with
like
you.
that, like the homegirl that be walking up the stairs, the meme with the bag.
Hey.
Like, you know. Okay.
What you leaving behind?
Okay, that's easy for me. It's easy, simple. It's a long word, but it's an easy word.
Okay.
I
Procrastination.
knew it. I knew he was gonna say that.
Procrastination.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave procrastination behind because I feel like the space that we talked about this before, where you can have paralysis by analysis.
Yup.
I feel like procrastination is easy in that space. One thing I actually learned about anxiety most recently is most of the time we're anxious because we have so many different directions and we don't have a target that we're truly aiming at. So it leaves us in a space of procrastination. So I got to understand when I'm willing to procrastinate, it's because my target isn't clear. So I'm going to leave that behind.
Okay. Okay.
Hot take.
I am leaving meat behind. Meats.
Pause.
Pause. I'm leaving animal products behind. And
Okay, you committed.
I'm committed. I've been making this transition.
Honey too.
Huh?
Honey, I know you be rocking with agave, but
It's crazy because I still use honey though.
Okay.
I still use honey. But I've been making this transition for a year and a half, 2 years now. And every once in a while, I cross back over to the other side for a weekend or family gatherings or friendly gatherings. I'll say, because everybody's doing it, I don't want to be
Yeah.
different or make it difficult.
Yeah.
I'll eat too.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving forward, I'm staying more committed. I'll just eat before I get there. I'll do whatever I have to do to make sure that like I'm staying on what I want to do. So yeah, that's what it is for me.
No chicken.
Nah, bro. It's good
No
as
turkey.
As good as it is, man. As good as
Okay.
it is. Nah, just
You gonna pass up the bacon plate?
honestly, bro. You know what's crazy? Man, I had twice steak, one incident, lamb, the other incident. Within 5-10 minutes, heartburn. Within 5-10 minutes, both
Okay.
times. I don't know if that was like a red meat thing or what, but yeah, just like where I'm at mentally, what I'm researching. You know what I mean? Where I'm at spiritually. That's just like what I want to be on.
Every time I see like food stuff on the internet,
Send it to me.
I send it to O
gotta
every
send it to
time.
me.
Got to.
Every time. If it's fruit stuff,
Let's talk
food
about it.
stuff, I send it to O because I want to get his take, man. Before we get to you, dude, remember one time we was talking in the shop, and O was talking to somebody else. You know, when you get to see your friends talk to other people, you get to see different sides of them.
Yeah.
I had no idea how much knowledge O had in this space, and as he's talking to this guy in the shop, I'm looking at this fool like, man, this is fascinating. Who is this guy? He has such a wealth of knowledge in why he's doing what he's doing. It's not like, oh man, it's kind of a cool fad, and I see that people are eating this, and I just kind of want to try it. Like, nah, he really studied the space, and he really understands it. So, I mean, you inspiring a lot of people. You got some of our friends is eating plant-based literally off of the back of you without doing the knowledge or without doing the research. You know, so I like that. I like that for you.
What you got, Duke? What's one thing you leaving in 2023? Cannot come with you. You have no more space. Bag lady.
What's one thing I'm leaving in 2023? Fear.
Whoo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fear. I mean, and I think some people will probably be surprised to hear me say that, just because from the outside it's like, I know how I'll come off on the outside, right? It's just like confident all the time, and
Bravado.
just have it figured out. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm a pretty composed person, so even when things are going crazy, like, it's very hard for people to tell. And sometimes I'm unsure, like everyone. Like, sometimes I just don't know, you know? And a lot of times, things like procrastination, things like, not executing, all those things sometimes are a byproduct of fear. And I think I don't want to question anything anymore. I just want to do. And when I talk about executing, I said, like, fear is always gonna be present, but it's like, how courageous can you be in the face of it? And I think that anything I'm talking about, when it's going all in, exposing everything to my woman, exposing everything to y'all, committing anything I say I'm doing, commit to full on, and whatever God says happens, And that's what I want to leave in 2023. Fear, because I think most people, including myself, including like, you know, just a lot of people I know, man, a lot of us never really reach the heights that we really want to get to because we're afraid of heights. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We just afraid of heights. And if we overcome our fear of heights, there's no telling how high we could go.
Wow, that's so good.
You know?
I have an anthem for you for this year that anytime you come into a space of fear, I want you to play it.
Okay.
I want you to play it. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I'll send it to you. This is literally us thing. Like they don't even. This is literally us thing.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah. You got it.
Okay.
Hey, you gonna really enjoy it too.
Okay.
I know what you've been on.
Okay.
Okay.
I know what you've been on.
Okay.
Yo,
okay.
so before we get out of here,
Got
though,
a finger point you.
all right, before we get out of here, we want to know, all right, 2 things about y'all. All right, the first thing is, yo, what are you doing differently, or what's the word of the year for 2024? All right, What is the word of the year for 2024 for you? All right, drop it in the comments. Let us know right now. All right, talk with your friends, talk with your family, figure it out, and then let us know. And then the other thing is, what are you leaving in 2023? All right, what are you leaving behind? It could be habits, it could be people, it could be anything, a place, right? So you may be wanting to move to a new location. That qualifies. All right, so let us know in the comments. Fellas, we got anything?
Hey, we just hit 50K. Hey, we just hit 50K. So shout out to y'all for supporting us, subscribing, sharing, liking our posts, engaging with our episodes. It means the world to us. We're now got our sights set on 100,000 subscribers and building more of a community with you guys and just taking the Nice and Neat brand to another level. So shout out to y'all for helping us get there, man.
Yeah. Quick message though. All right. So we're doing something different this year. All right. And we are allowing small businesses to promote their brands or their services or their products on our channel. Right. We understand how important it is to reach new audiences and reach new eyeballs. So we want to open up our audience for anyone who is just looking for just a wider range of people to promote to, right? So if you have a small business and you have a product, then please reach out to us. What you could do is you can go to the description, right? We're gonna post a link in the description. All right, click the link in the description, fill out a form, and we're gonna look at the form, review the form. If everything checks out, then we'll reach out to you. And then we'll allow you to promote on our channel. We're going to have 3 to 5 slots every episode. So there are going to be plenty of chances to promote your product. Okay. So if you're interested, hit the link in the description and apply. But thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting us. We are excited to go into this new year and bring you more content. We got a lot of big things working, a lot of big things in the works. Be sure to subscribe to us on all social platforms. Be sure to subscribe to our streaming. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast on all streaming services. And much love and much gratitude.
Last thing. I think constantly giving suggestions for guests to come on the show
was great.
It's great.
Yeah.
Because we've been able to land the ones that you guys have wanted. So
sure.
Keep throwing those suggestions out. We'll keep checking them out in the comments. And we'll keep working on bringing those guests.
Go tag us in their stuff too. So
seriously,
so they can see
what we do. See what we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, much love, much gratitude. I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalan. This is another episode of Nice and Neat. And Happy New Year!
Take the risk to go and get them bands. I'll be the one to never sit and go and make a plan. Knowing my mother getting old now, I don't got no time. Gotta keep a couple for the road, the rest get left behind. Yeah. To the hundreds, pledge allegiance I stand. I'm gold pour 4 in the white sand.